Okay. Well, welcome back, tributes and everyone. Happy Monday. Today is a beautiful, beautiful day for the fandom, which we're going to talk about tonight. We have some big news, big announcements from the last week, so we're excited to talk about it. Um, I don't know, should we just dive right in to our talk like right away because I cannot wait a second long.
Well, what do you want to talk about first?
Yeah, we should probably talk about last week's announcement first. So exciting. Obviously, it's just gonna get overshadowed tonight, I think, but it's very exciting. James Newton Howard is coming back to what is the word? To create the Hunger Games.
Compose?
Compose, that's a word. I was
Pose.
like a C word. Compose the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes soundtrack.
Score.
Score, yeah, score. Um, so that was really exciting to find out last week, just because I mean we know he did all the music for The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay Part 1, too. So I think it's just a continuation of like us carrying over people who worked on the original films for this new movie. So we know it's in good hands if we're keeping James Newton Howard and everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm so happy because that's going to really contribute to, I think, it feeling like a Hunger Games film
Yes.
and having that continuity.
That's a good point. How is everyone else feeling? Obviously, probably excited, but
No, I hate it. No, I'm kidding.
So it's super exciting. Like uh like you said, it makes the music makes it feel like Hunger Games. And,
mhm.
like the music is so important to the story. And I feel like I said in my close friend's story, I said he needs to go all out to get an Oscar because he was robbed so many
Mhm.
times.
Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah. Especially like for ballad, which is has so much music incorporated into the story, like in
Hmm.
such a direct way. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, in the story it's Lucy Gray who's creating the music, but James Newton Howard will definitely accompany her, I feel like, and for the score and not so much for the songs. Or maybe he'll have a hand in actually composing that too. I feel like that would be the same person, right?
Yeah. Did he do Horn of Plenty? Or was
I
that
think
someone
so.
I
else?
don't think I think it was
Oh wait, no, wasn't
Arcade
it?
Fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really makes me wonder then who is going to be composing the actual songs that Lucy Gray is singing. But maybe he'll have more of a role in that since it's, I don't know, so important.
He composed The Hanging Tree.
Yeah.
And so I'd expect that
That's
to be the
definitely,
same.
yeah, since especially like ballad is like the origin story of the hanging tree, pretty much. Um,
Yeah, it'll also be fun to like potentially hear songs from the scores from the other movies. Like obviously not all of them, but maybe some sort of like you were saying continuity or like
mhm.
shared song.
I always found that interesting with the original franchise that they reused a lot of the same pieces of music and just either changed, like obviously adapted. It's not necessarily like an exact copy, but the same melodies and stuff. And like reprises at different parts of the story, and it makes it all tie together, but it also adds more meaning, I feel like, or it just calls the viewer's attention to specific things. I don't know how to explain this better, but um, so yeah, I wonder if it'll be entirely new pieces of music because it's a prequel, or if there'll be direct like callbacks to some existing pieces. Would be interesting.
hmm Yeah, because I wonder if they will use Horn of Plenty
Kind of
because
hope they do.
I hope so.
I do
I
too.
I think it's going to be a wrong choice if they go with the Gem of Panem
yeah,
song that we don't recognize yet. Like, I'm just thinking about Horn of Plenty and like Snow singing it and hearing it and just that callback. I don't know. It gives me chills just thinking about it. So I hope they go with
Especially,
that.
yeah, especially when you heard Santino Fontana's rendition of Gem of Panem in the audiobook.
Gosh.
It is not it. It is not it. Love
Especially
It's
in
Santino.
the
not.
grandman's voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the part I'm like, let's just get rid of all of that. We don't need that.
Yeah, there's already too many new songs that we have to be introduced to. So
Yeah.
if we can
Mhm.
we can keep the original, I'm happy with that.
So yeah, my question was, you brought up like about potentially having a hand in Lucy Gray's songs. I don't know much about music and film, but would he have like, is that his job to like work on the songs, or is that someone else's job completely, or is it like, I don't understand, like, well, do we know anything about that?
Well, if they keep it like similar to the original thing, like Arcade Fire had a song on this on the Hunger Games songs from District 12 and beyond. So they were already like working with the film production. If they give us, I mean, I honestly like I would love for them to do a similar thing with Ballad, but I feel like that's really getting my hopes up to have like a various artists album to accompany the film. But they might do like they might collaborate with like one artist to create like a song to promote the film, like in trailers or something, and then have that person also have a hand in writing the Lucy Gray songs in the way that Arcade Fire wrote Horn of Plenty.
Mm,
Because that'd be kind of cool. Like, let's say, I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there. Like, let's say Taylor Swift comes back again and then she has a hand in creating the Lucy Gray songs. I feel like that would be really cool.
yeah.
Um, you know,
Yeah.
so, but it could also be him. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah.
Is there
Well,
an end credits song for Mockingjay Part 2?
it's Deep
It's
in
just
the
Hanging
Meadow.
Tree or Deep. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why didn't they have? Usually there's at least one artist because there's an end credits song.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like we have to have a soundtrack because if they have somebody do an end credits song and then we also have the songs from the film, that wouldn't all go together on one album with the score, would it? That just seems kind
Uh,
of too much.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just still hoping that there's going to be a score and then also a soundtrack. So
I think there would have to be like two separate ones, like you said. But I don't know if James Newton Howard would be involved with both of them.
Mhm.
I know that Lord, when she did part one, she
Mhm.
went to the set when they were filming, and that's how she got inspiration for
did she now?
the songs. Yeah.
Listen.
So they
You
they
know what?
had like
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of a student that didn't do their homework and pulls the first excuse they can that doesn't sound all the way awful, and they're like, "Yeah, that's what I did."
Are we sure she arrived at the right set?
Mhm.
yeah. But like I think they have that all like thought of way in advance. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I guess Arcade Fire was uh working with the production uh way in advance too, since they wrote One of Plenty
Yeah.
and they helped with the soundtrack.
It'll be
Yeah.
exciting to see what they do, what we get.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
excited to have a whole score. I don't know, just like sitting and thinking about that, just the fact that
The
we're gonna
forest
have a
scene.
whole new album. Yes, like
Yes.
just thinking about the music. It's like obviously I've thought about that before, but then just with this announcement, it's just like I'm just really sitting in it, you know?
Mhm.
The idea of there's gonna be a whole score track for the final forest scene with Lucy Gray and Snow, and then the hanging scene. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's just everything's exciting.
I felt like we all kind of like knew that James Newton Howard would come back. Like I think a little bit just because, so many people have returned to work on
Right.
this, but it was like still like because it hadn't been announced, I was like, oh, but what if they go with someone else? And like, I would have been
Right.
open-minded as well, but I'm just so like, it's more like, at least for me, it's more like a relief as opposed to, I mean, I'm excited, but it's definitely more, I'm relieved that it's James Newton Howard, and as opposed to being like, okay, someone else is coming on board, that's cool, you know? Yeah, I just,
I
even
wonder
just
how
like for the
many.
trailer.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, like, just for like the first trailer will drop, that I'm sure there'll be the first couple of minutes of score in there, like that'll really help
Oh
set
my
the tone for
gosh.
I know.
I
I'm like
just can't even think
psyching
about getting
myself
the
out.
trailer. That's gonna
So,
be a day.
oh boy.
I'm gonna be live all day. Like, I'm so convinced I'm just gonna be live all day. Have
Yeah.
people filter in and out.
Frame by frame analysis of everything.
Yes.
I wonder how many of the like original crew is coming back for various things. Like,
Props.
do we have the same production designer? Yeah, like
Costuming is a
I
really
don't know.
big
I'm just like, is
like
Dana
question.
Schneider doing like the jewelry stuff? Like,
Oh,
who made the Mockingjay pin? Like, I want to know. But I guess we'll
I
just have
really,
to watch like IMDb for all that stuff.
yeah. I really hope, I don't know, for costumes. I know our friend Brian is eagerly waiting for that. I am too, to be honest. I think I liked Trish Somerville the best. Actually, I don't know about that. That's a hot take. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see if any of the original costume people will come back, or if we'll have a new team of people. I'm really interested in props because, Emily, you understand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to obsess over certain random pieces of furniture, and I need it to feel like it's all in the same world, even though it's 64 years before we first see it, Panem. I still need to feel like I want to redecorate my house to look like the film set. You know, it's just important to who I am.
No, I agree. Just writing your little list while watching the movie of all the things you want to own.
Just start saving for the spile, please. Just make a spile in this movie for no reason other than so that I can buy it at the auction. Thank you.
Yes. Or what if they like actually never sold it and they have it and then they just put it in the background on like a table or something?
Holly, the way I think about this, get out of my head. Like, I think about that all the time because I know so many people, like the vast majority of people, do not care about the spile. And I'm like, is it still somewhere out there, like in a safe somewhere? And I could be like, can I get that for $20, please? You know, whatever.
Okay, should we move on to our rumor from last week?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so there has been a rumor going around. I think, Jerry, you shared it with us, that Viola Davis is actually, they're having to recast her from her role as Dr. Gall. But today we actually received more information on that. So we kind of, one word, more information about that. We can talk about that. Because back before Hunter Schafer was announced, there was a pretty, I don't know what it would call, like a legit rumor going around saying that Hunter Schafer and Viola Davis were in the works to be in Ballad. And then, of course, we got the news that Hunter was cast as Tigress. So it kind of made everyone go, well, obviously Viola Davis is going to be in this one too. But we haven't gone to Dr. Gall, and it's been kind of weird how they pushed that out there. So last week, a rumor came out saying that due to scheduling conflicts, we're no longer going to get Viola Davis.
Which is exactly what you said last week, Holly.
I
So
know.
if that's true, you totally called it.
You know, I'm actually working at Lionsgate right now, so I wasn't supposed to let that one slip, but it
And you
kind of
didn't tell us?
You signed an NDA, but now it's no longer valid. So
I got fired yesterday,
Getting
actually. But Jerry then actually got a tweet from Nina Jacobson herself, which we
Jerry
thought,
always does. Jerry
Yeah, I
gets the
know.
responses from Nina. They're friends.
and you asked when we're getting Dr. Gall now that we have Dean Highbottom. And she said soon, as she always does. So what are our thoughts with, did they recast? Did they not recast? Because we're assuming probably this week we'll get an announcement if she's saying soon.
It does seem likely that something happened since it's been until today, it'd been like 2 weeks since we got a larger cast member. So it does feel like something's not happening or something is wrong. I don't know. But
maybe they offered her more money and it worked out in the end, or like they moved around the filming schedule for when they needed her,
or maybe they worked the last 2 weeks to find somebody else and they're gonna announce them on Wednesday.
Yep.
A whole week, like last week, where we got nothing, it was really weird, and I guess that kind of like that rumor kind of not confirms it, but like
points that way.
Yeah,
There was like no reason to not announce anybody. I mean, we had like 4th of July week. Okay, like I can understand that, but just it was such a dry week. It was so weird.
Plus, like the majority of everyone seems to be in Germany/Poland right now. It seems like production is like underway, or at least about to. We're very close to that, so it would definitely not make sense to withhold Gall for like longer, like just because.
Yeah, the article today actually confirmed that production's underway.
Oh, okay, cool.
We got at least that. But yeah, it's kind of I'm really hoping that they figured something out for Viola Davis, because I can't get the image of her out of my head. So
yeah, we've been setting it for so long.
I need it, but yeah.
Yeah, because I saw her in the trailer for The Woman King, and I hadn't really pictured, like I hadn't seen anything about it. I hadn't pictured her as Gall or anything, but she's like a badass, and so it would kind of be a huge loss if she was not our Dr. Gall anymore.
Not to mention the pull that would have for audiences to come see the movie, because so many people love her. I genuinely believe that if it is her, if it was her, like so many people would go see Ballad just for her,
Yeah.
And then maybe stay for the rest, but like that would be the initial draw or something.
So I think something fun we can do is like pick a side. Do you think Davis was recast, or do you think she is our Gall?
I think it's a recast.
I think it's a recast as well.
I hate that, but
I want it to be a recast, but I don't know.
Jerry, come on. You're the mind, or the mind reader / predictor of everything.
That last week that we got nothing, that's kind of like pointing in that direction, like AJ said. So most likely that she got recast.
But they could have worked it out. It could have been, okay, we're not going to announce this because we're not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Guess we'll find out in 2 days. Hopefully.
Maybe we'll just never know. Like maybe we'll get a random cast and they were like, in the future they'll be like, what do you mean? We never considered Viola Davis. Like, what are you talking about? And we're like, no, but you recast her, didn't you? And they're like, what are you talking about, crazy fans?
No, we
what
know.
If this is
you were Dr. Gall.
What if this is a Bryce Dallas Howard Victoria situation?
Oh my God. Please.
Like they announce somebody and then like they start filming the scenes for Gall and they're like, wait, just kidding. Viola is back on.
God. That would be interesting. But honestly, I mean, we can pretty much like assume that she was going to be the one to be Gaul, so I don't know. I don't think she's gonna be Gaul anymore, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So who do you
But like,
think
what
would be
what
Gaul?
is more important than the Hunger Games? Like,
Right?
like
Dang.
what movie could you be working on?
Miss
Like, and
Girl.
I feel like she needs to not, I don't want to say like redeem herself because she's been good in these past roles, but she's been in several YA potential franchise movies that like didn't work out, like,
Mm.
or didn't have more films, like Beautiful Creatures, Ender's Game. So I feel like this is her
I totally
time.
forgot about that. Wow.
It seems like
Wow.
she is interested in those kind of projects.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It just seems like Hunger Games is something that she would want to do. So I don't know.
Plus, Gaul is so interesting, like as a character, as a concept.
Yeah,
Like,
something that she
who
hasn't
wouldn't
really
want to play
done
that?
before.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be disappointed if, I mean, we'll see if it is a recast who they end up casting, because I'm sure they'll find someone great. But
Yeah.
I just want to know. I don't want to wait anymore. It's been so long.
So done. So done. Okay, but Jerry asked, who do we think now if we're gonna get our announcement this week? Who's it gonna be?
Hmm.
I'm not good at casting, so I would say
Ever since my Ali Carvalho phase, I've been disgusted from fantastic.
oh,
So
I totally
I have
those days.
what?
I forgot about those days where we
I
were
haven't.
on that train.
Isn't that
Every
like a
time
month
she
ago?
posts something, yeah. Every time she posts something on Instagram, I'm like, in an alternate universe. I'm happy with Rachel, but I was like, dang, I really thought I put it together and solved the case there, but it's fine. My ego is only slightly bruised. It's fine.
It was a good guess. It always will be. Jerry, do
Thank
you
you.
have a pick for
Uh,
Gaul?
not specifically, but I remember somebody saying in the group chat that it probably should be a person of color because the majority of the cast or the main cast is white.
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
which is still a disappointment.
Yeah.
I think that's what I feel the most disappointed about for all the casting announcements that we've had so far because I felt like the fandom was really, really open to like casting people of color, especially like in the main roles. So I don't know. I think yeah, it's
And so is Nina. So it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
where did
little
we go
weird.
wrong? Like always, where did we go wrong?
They got the tributes and mentors down,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
all
exactly.
sorts of diversity, race, disability, or ability.
I
Mhm.
can't wait to. Okay, sorry. Can't. I have so much shit to say.
But I guess I don't know if this is a good segue. Disappointments in casting today, everyone. I have not seen one bad comment. I don't know if you all have.
I've seen a couple.
Oh, rude. I hate you people. We got our Dean Highbottom, who is none other than Peter Dinklage, who is an amazing actor. Like this is like huge. When I saw it and I told like the group slash like pointing out to Emily because I saw the announcement on our page first. The picture that Emily used just gives me the most Dean Highbottom. I regret creating the games. It's all my fault. I'm gonna drink myself to death. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's why I picked it.
So exciting. Let's go around and talk about it. How is everyone feeling about it?
I love it.
Yes. We're
Best casting so far.
yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
I'm really excited about Hunter, but I think besides Hunter, I'm so excited about Peter. I think it's definitely top two.
It's like and Emily and I talked about this a little bit, where like Emily was saying like how has nobody thought of this, and I responded saying, yeah, it just seems so obvious now, like
Mhm.
that's the right choice. I personally, like, my introduction to Peter Dinklage was through Game of Thrones. I think for a lot of people that's the case. Um, Not that Tyrion Lannister
AJ, what do
and
you
High,
mean? The
What's up?
classic film, Elf.
Are you kidding me?
get out of here. Um,
This is movie.
no, but it's just like Tyrion and High Bottom are very different characters, but Tyrion spends a lot of time being drunk and being cynical, and so like from my memory of Tyrion and like specifically like Peter's performance of that character, it just seems like, oh, I know he's gonna get it so right. You know what I mean? And then continuing with the disability representation in this film, which is so exciting because for those of you who didn't know, it is currently Disability Pride Month. So I love it even more. I think that's really fun. And yeah.
I'm so excited for scenes between him and Tom.
Yes.
Like I just giving me chills again, just like thinking about it. I think it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. I feel like I mean, obviously I'm excited for this film, but it wasn't until today. I've just never been more excited. You know, every time
Yeah.
there's something new that comes out, I'm just like even more excited, and I just have so much faith in this film today.
No, yes. I think too is like what we were saying before about the music with or like the score, envisioning the score. I think now seeing Peter and like I can envision more of Panem and the story, I guess, in my head, just because he is like such a perfect pick that I never would have picked myself. And so that's why we have casting directors and casting people. I'm like, I don't understand how you guys came up with this. And I'm just so thrilled. Besides, like I said, besides Hunter, let's just pretend we're not like Hunter's not here. Besides Hunter, like I am just stoked. I think my favorite casting announcements so far have been Peter, Hunter, and Tom. And so
Agreed.
agree
Mhm.
with you, Emily, about the scenes between him and Tom because I think I'm gonna have chills. Like this man created the Hunger Games. So I'm so excited.
I'm very excited for that final scene.
Oh
Mhm.
my god.
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
what
you know,
he just said that ending scene. It's gonna be great.
some of you have seen my dance response
Oh
to
yes.
the news. That's all I could do. I was so excited. I hadn't even like left my room like to say hi to my mom yet, and I was like, I just gotta get this out of my system. And then I went to like my mom was like in her room, and I was like, Peter Dinklage was cast, and she's like, I don't know who that is, and I was like, ah.
You're like, get up, you'll know him. Like
I
I
was
think
like, are you
everyone
kidding
has
me?
to know him.
My mom
So
doesn't know anyone though, like, to be fair, but still, I was like, I need someone to understand how incredibly awesome this is. I told my therapist about it. She's like, is that who plays Eddie? And I was like, oh my god,
oh my
get
god,
out of
stop!
here.
AJ, leave. Tell your
She's
therapist
like,
no.
she's like, I'm sorry, I don't know any actor names. I'm like, clearly.
You're like it really pulls up photo.
Yeah, I was like, Game of Thrones, no. And she's like, and I was like, what about Cyrano? No, no, okay, that's cool. She's like, I'm sorry, AJ. And I was like, it's
For
fine.
real.
He was really good in Cyrano.
Yeah,
I didn't see
I
that.
didn't see it, but I wanted to, and then just never got around to it.
That
But
film
I was
was
like, that makes sense.
okay. It's not like the best
Aw.
film, to be honest, but I mean, he was amazing.
Who ended up with the girl?
I don't even remember the end.
Oh my god.
I'm so curious. I watched the trailer so many times in theaters and I never
I think
saw
it was nobody.
Oh.
Oh wait, it's coming back to me now. It's coming
Pop
back to me
out.
now. Yeah. Nobody.
Rip. Well, I am just over the moon. I think Abby said it just perfect. He literally makes the character for me, and I haven't even seen him act as High Bottom yet. Like I could care less about High Bottom, and now I'm like, ooh, High Bottom. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so good.
Now we just need to know who is Dr. Gall. I
Okay,
feel
I'm
like there was a lot writing on these kind of larger, like people characters that you knew they were going to cast
Mhm.
more well-known actors to kind of see like, okay, what direction are they going in? Because we don't really have the knowledge of a lot of these other actors. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just
I'm
want to know who
happy that
Dr.
they
Gall is.
I'm happy that they stayed in that pattern of like the smaller secondary role with like a bigger actor.
hmm
Like
Mhm.
Hunter and Peter are definitely bigger actors than Tom,
I want to hear
you
him
know,
talk
and
about like getting the role or why he wanted to be in the Hunger Games. Like I'm ready for
the
cast
press,
interviews.
Yes.
the
The
press
press.
tour. Oh,
Gosh.
okay.
Everything is so exciting.
Imagine just like talking to Peter and being like, hey, so like asking him all these questions.
Wait, I meant to send this in the chat earlier and I just got busy, but I was daydreaming about how we're gonna be at the premiere and like we're gonna be in the same place as Peter Dinklage. I'm
Yeah.
purely manifesting here, but I'm, you know, it's gonna happen. So I'm just bracing myself.
I was so manifesting this weekend at work. Like I was telling my coworkers all about like our podcast and like, like
Yes.
we all are trying so hard right now. Like please, what I would give now that this cast is just banging and like we have James Newton Howard on board.
Oh my god.
Okay, AJ, I have an idea for you. You should
Uh-oh.
create like an image and it should be everyone getting on the train slash the bus, like everyone joining the Hunger Games bus because it's gonna be so epic. Like we got James, we got Peter, we got potentially Viola, we got Hunter, we got Tom. Like just get everyone on here.
Bust
I
the
just
Panem.
immediately like had my fan art senses tingling earlier because I was just thinking of like, you know, the visual contrast of High Bottom and Snow, in this case Peter and Snow
Mhm.
and Tom. And like that's another thing. I'm so excited to see costuming because I feel like, I mean, I don't know, maybe this is just my own interpretation, but I have always imagined young Snow to be dressed in a lot of light colored clothing. And I always imagined High Bottom in like dark greens, like colors, but very dark and very muted. And I just want that like visual contrast so freaking bad. I don't know. I don't have like a specific idea for an illustration yet, but it's like it's brewing. You know what I mean? Like there's stuff happening. The gears are turning. Smoke's coming out of my ears. Like stuff is happening. But, yeah.
Yeah, great news today. Absolutely amazing news. Um, and I'm kind of like we're all assuming that the news about Gall is going to be dropping this week because last time Nina said soon, it was soon. So
Yeah,
what day are we thinking, Jerry? What day?
I said Wednesday because, you know,
It's Wednesday. It's gonna
Wednesday's
be
the day.
perfect. Well, stay tuned for Dr. Gall on Wednesday, everyone.
I guess it could be next week,
It
but
could be
Stop.
next week too, yeah.
they haven't done like
Oh.
a double kind of
But they owe us.
bigger actor, but
They owe us from
they
last week.
do. They they made us starve for 2 weeks.
There's also more tributes and mentors that I'm assuming will be cast because
Yeah.
still a lot of
True.
them that we don't know. I honestly am feeling like if we get more casting news this week, it'll be another round of tributes and mentors because
Mm.
that seems to be their pattern more. I mean, I would hope that we get Gull this week too, but I don't know. I'm not convinced that that would happen.
That makes
I'm
sense.
I'm
Even
more
though,
inclined.
despite how untrustworthy they are.
Absolutely. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? But just I feel like it's more likely to get tributes and mentors with Peter than Gaul and Peter. But I could be wrong. They could decide to pull the rug from under us and be like, just kidding.
Surprise, we love
Yeah.
you. Here you go. Sorry. And we're like, yeah, thanks.
Oh, I was also like scrolling through Pinterest earlier today looking for references for stuff, and there is like an ad for Volkswagen, and Luna Steeples, who is our dill, was in that commercial.
Ooh,
So
Hmm.
I was like, cute.
What was the commercial for?
Volkswagen?
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Volkswagen, proud Volkswagen driver.
I was like, is that our girl? Yes, it is.
Yay. How exciting as we start to notice anyone. Now I can think
Mhm.
Elf is now a Hunger Games movie. Game of Thrones is in the Hunger Games universe. It's all the same.
Oh God. I miss Game of Thrones in the sense that I miss when I enjoyed it.
Right.
yeah.
Feel that.
Yeah. But
Apparently,
whatever.
there's a sequel coming out.
Yeah, I just have ethical problems with it, like with the Game of Thrones and HBO thing. But yeah, that's fine.
So a lot of news in the last week.
It's exciting seeing all the tributes and their pictures on Instagram being in Poland.
Yeah. So make sure you're following, obviously, us. I'm sure you are. Follow Jerry, follow AJ, because everyone's posting and reposting things. So if you want to keep up with all the like content that's actually happening right in front of our eyes, make sure you're following everyone's accounts because stuff is happening. And everyone get back to the fandom. Everyone get on the bus with us because it's happening.
We're moving along.
Yes.
In the wise words of Jack Shepard from Lost, we have to go back.
Love a good Lost reference.
Yes.
You know it.
Perfect. Does anyone have anything else tonight or no?
I don't.
Except I think Emily's holding back that she was cast as Dr. Gall.
Yeah.
Yeah, they contacted me. They found my snake account on Instagram and were like, she's
Oh my
perfect.
God.
The backup account, like for real. I think you're gonna step up and come Wednesday or next week, we're gonna find out that you were lying to
Whoa.
us this whole time.
I
That's
wish.
the truth. Yes. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for this week.
Dang.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Hopefully we come back next week and we have more mentors and more tributes. And Dr. Gall. I think once we get Dr. Gall, I feel like the monster will be fed and we'll be all set.
I want to know
No.
where they're filming too. So if anybody's in Poland,
Well, didn't Rachel say waking up in the middle of a new city or something random like that? So she pretty much
Oh
told
yeah.
us right in front of our faces, but but yes. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us. It was good to see everyone in the comments, talking to you all. We miss you. And we'll see you again next week.